Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of TV is Our Real Mom. I'm your host, Dave, and as always, I'm joined by my co host, my sister, Katie. Katie, what's up?
Got my computer back. What's up? Look at me, live and in color. Not on a phone. There's my cat. What's
Yeah,
up?
uh, yeah, so not calling from a potato anymore.
No, it's an
Uh,
actual computer.
an actual computer in place.
Which, despite what those Apple commercials want you to think, most people know what a computer is, even kids.
What's a computer?
Ugh! Worst commercial ever.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is about that, Apple knows this as well, but iPads are computers. They're just
Don't look like your traditional
They're
computer.
just different. A computer is a computer.
That's
Okay.
fair.
I don't want to get in too much into the technical reasons why, but let's just leave it at that. Anyways,
Okay, sorry.
I'm here to talk
Woo!
about IT. We're here to talk about Survivor, our favorite reality competition show.
That's really selling it kind of short, but okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, what did you think of this episode, Katie?
Um, I don't know. It seems like I have the opposite trajectory with this season that everybody else does. Like I liked it at the beginning, and I've been kind of like getting frustrated with it the last few episodes, and other people are like didn't like it at the beginning, and now they're saying how amazing it is.
It's
Eh,
not it's not amazing. I mean,
no,
I
it's
think
not.
I think we need to express ourselves honestly here. Like, I don't want to be a naysayer, and I know we do a lot of that on this
I
channel.
do a lot of that.
Maybe that's just who we are, okay? Maybe we're
Okay,
negative people. I'm sorry. But
possible.
I think we need to express what it is that we're not liking about the end of this season, because I feel the same way. Can you sort of start to put into words like what you're thinking here?
Yes, I can definitely put it into words. First of all, you have Ben. They showed Ben on several occasions attempt to play the traditional game, mending social relationships, making social relationships, keeping those social relationships, and failing miserably. And yet, he not only gets to stay in the game, but dictates. This week, he did not dictate who left, but last week, he was able to dictate who left just because of this miraculous get out of jail free card that is the immunity idol, which I apparently is the 8th idol that has been in this season. And I am just tired of, the gameplay the last couple weeks has been meaningless because it's all negated by this miraculous
Yep.
idol, which of course Ben finds, which of course Ben always finds. So I feel like the show that they are, I don't want to say that production's manipulating or whatever, but I feel like they have clearly want Ben to go far, and they don't care how it comes off to those of us who want to see people come up with an actual, like, why don't you cerise something and come up with some crazy reason for someone to work with you rather than just dig up this idol and pull it out at tribal council. Like, I'm just really sick of it. I feel like the game is lost a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's one of my biggest frustrations with the season is like, don't get me wrong, I do like immunity idols. Like, I don't think you should remove them completely from the game.
Right.
And we've been saying this the last couple podcasts. I mean, we've been saying, you know
But it
what?
just keeps getting worse.
Yeah, I'm just saying eight immunity idols is too many. Like, come on. Like, get
It's too
real.
many.
and
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 I
you're
don't.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I don't like how they know. Okay, it got played, so because I watched this and I'm a super fan, I know that they're gonna put another one out there. Why don't you shake it up? Why do we have to just know that that's the way it is and that's what you do? Can't we change things? Why do we have to, in the dead of night when they're at tribal council, go hide another one? Like, I'm just, can't you change the rules? You're a survivor. You can change the rules all the time if you want.
Yeah, I mean, aside from just changing the rules, like, why not just like every other vote? Yeah, like,
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, I'm like lost for words. I'm so frustrated with it.
Yeah, no, I agree because I knew after last week, I knew, okay, Ben's staying. He's gonna find another idol or find some other crazy way to stay. It's like going into the episode, Even though people were saying it was going to be crazy, I knew that's what was going to happen. I had no doubt in my mind Ben would stay. And the most likely way for that to happen was find an idol. Granted, everyone's making a big deal out of how they should have been following him, which I agree with. On 3 separate occasions, they showed Ben looking for it. And on none of those occasions did he have a tail. But I still think that there shouldn't have been another idol out there. It just should have been done. That's too many. 8 is enough.
Well, yeah, it's exactly like you said. It's become just a get out of jail free card, and to give a player the opportunity to save their game like 7 times in a row when they're obviously doing something wrong to make themselves a target. It's not what Survivor should be about. I mean, I guess who am I to say what Survivor should be about, but it's just gotten out of hand. I don't know. I hope somebody in production feels the same way we do. Like there's something about this that isn't working, and I don't know. It sounds like the general sentiment is not our sentiment. I feel like I find that hard to believe. I can't believe more people aren't just like, this is stupid. Like,
yeah, because everyone I know hates it, so I don't get it.
Right.
Like why everyone's defending. I think people are not. They don't want to naysay the show. They don't want to like go after the actual show. But this is, and I'm protective of the show as well to an extent. But this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
So honestly, I did rewatch the Tribal Council, and on a second watch, I will admit that the Tribal Council itself was interesting and fun to watch. Just because I don't know, there's just a lot of drama and intrigue and interesting dialogue going on. But I know that's probably hard to believe for you when with the outcome and Ben being the center of all of it.
I just can't stand his actions too. Like, yeah, look what I did. I found an idol. You didn't do anything. You found treasure. That's what you're good at. That's all you're good at. And yet you get to have this show-off moment at Tribal Council that's completely obnoxious. And the one time I was Team Chrissy was when she was like, God, Ben, shut up. It's not that big a deal.
But yeah, I love Rob's comparison to how Chrissy came across like Larry David in that moment. That's exactly what Larry David is like in Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's like, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, come on. Is it really like I've so apt it. I love that. But yeah, so the bomb is dropped, and my goodness. There's a word to describe every contestant you've ever hated, Catie. There's one word that describes them all, and Ben epitomized that word in this episode, in this Tribal Council especially. Do you know what? No.
No? Okay, what is it?
The word is smug.
Oh, yeah. That's true. If you're smug, I hate you.
He is smug as hell.
He was smug AF.
Jeff calls him out on it even. He's like, Ben, you are smiling big time. And it was just kind of a smug attitude he had. Granted, like, man, if I was in his position and I, got to stay in the game one more 3-day period or one more day, whatever it is, I would probably be smug too. It'd be hard not to be smug. I'll give him that, but it's just.
But he does it in such an obnoxious way.
Yeah. He's
like, look what I just did, y'all. Shut up, Ben. You found an idol. Took you like 8 days.
So when he put this idol on his neck, my first thought was like, it looked a lot like the fake idol he made in the previous week.
It does. I kind of thought that as well.
So that was really interesting. It made me wonder, like, did production design an idol to look similar to the one?
Well, I believe that the real idol Ben had looked like that as well, and that's why he made the fake idol look that way. He based it on the real idol.
That would make sense too. Yeah, I feel like all the idols have looked different every time, but I guess.
Well, one of them was a seashell.
Yeah, right. And this one had seashells on it too, so maybe that's a theme.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Ben handed Jeff a fake one and Jeff was like, yeah, it looks real to me.
Yeah, just lets him get away with it for sure.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about I know you feel that Devin isn't getting enough credit for what he's been doing.
From certain people.
So there's a lot of Devin in this tribal council. There's a lot of
Stone face Devin. Not stoner face. Stone face.
stoner face Devin. A lot of
Yeah.
stone face Devin going head to head with Ben. So let's talk that through. What did you like or dislike about what he did?
I feel like the stone face that Devin had was a mixture of fear and confusion and refusal to let Ben push him around. So it was a mixture of things. But I liked that he didn't break, and he basically forced Ben to play it. He didn't allow Ben to use it as a bluff. He kind of forced him to play it right away, pray that it wasn't him, which it wasn't, and move on.
I totally agree that I think this was relatively well played by Devin to basically stand his ground and call out, the possibilities of how an idol can be played. Like Malcolm was known to do this once or twice. I don't know if he did it a lot or anything, because there weren't 8 idols for him to use to do that. But
no, I think he had 2 max.
Yeah. So yeah, to realize that that's an option of playing the idol is to bluff, and to call that out and make everyone aware of that possibility. Did you think this was a good move by Ben to sort of like snuff that out and be like, well, if that's the case, I'll just play it right now?
It was fine. I think he had no choice. I think he probably would have played it anyway. But I think he was trying to see what he could get by with. You don't pull that out, but pre-vote unless you want to use it. Try to use it as a bluff. That's what Malcolm was trying to do at Three Amigos. It didn't work out that way. Tony did that very well, but most people, I mean, not everyone can get away with using it as a bluff, but no one's ever been like, called him out about it. Like, you better play it because we're still going to vote for you.
Right. I do think Devin did a good job, and he pushed him all the way up to the point of where Ben felt like he had to play it. So ultimately, like he got Ben to play it. That's all. That's his best case scenario for him.
Right.
Do you think everyone else did the right thing by voting out Ashley?
No.
Yeah, and that brings me to another question. Like, why does Chrissy hate women so much?
Did you see how she was talking to Ashley at that tribal council? I'm like, bitch, since when do you and Ashley have a thing? Like, what's your problem?
Yeah, she was really, really gunning for Ashley, like throughout the episode.
The only thing I can think of is that she was probably Chrissy's only, depending on what the challenges are, if there's a puzzle, if it's athletic, I don't know, she's one of Chrissy's greatest threats for immunity.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because Chrissy's won 2 immunities, none of these, and Ashley's won 2, but none of these guys have won any. So but that's the only thing. And it just seemed like Ashley is a good person to sit next to at the end, I would think.
Of everyone there other than Mike, I mean, I know there's an argument to be made that everyone on the jury maybe likes Mike. I don't know why.
Well, he's funny, but he doesn't deserve $1 million for being funny.
I don't know. He's terrible, and we'll get into that in a bit.
He's quite bad, yes.
And he doesn't deserve to win in the least. To me, he's bottom of the rung he should take last place. If all 7 of them went to the final 7, and the jury got to vote from them, he should get last place.
Yeah, no, for sure. I do not disagree with that at all.
But yeah, to get back to your point, I agree. I think Ashley would be next in line for seems like she did the least hands-on gameplay. It's tough because we don't get to really see everything.
Yeah.
But that's what as far as we know, she deserves to win the next least.
I mean, yeah, Ryan is debatable just because he's seemingly done nothing since the merge, Pre-merge, I thought he was probably one of the top players, but he's been so such a non-factor since then, so I don't really know. But yeah, I don't understand the decision that well.
Yeah, me neither.
However, I do also want to get on some people for everybody after Devin voted Ashley out. Everybody's like, well, that vote's gone. Devin won't get that vote. And I'm like, because it's never happened where someone turned on their alliance because they had to, voted them out, and then they didn't get their vote. Come on, we can probably find like 10 examples of that happening. She even said 2 seconds into her Ponderosa video that she was over it, that she forgave Devin. And besides, if he had gone with Ashley and Ben and voted for Mike, that would have been 3-3. And they would have had to, what, go to Rocks, and Devin could have gone home because he was not one of the people, you know, voted for it. I mean, and he knew he had this backup deal with Chrissy and Ryan. So why? I know it sucks to get rid of someone who's been your closest ally in the game, but I felt like he was painted into a corner, and he did what was best for his game.
That's a very, very good point. All of those
Everybody's on Devin's junk, and I'm like, shut up. Like, why do you hate him so much?
on his junk. Do you know what that expression means? That's a little.
Maybe that's not what I meant. They're all over him for like bad reasons.
Case. Yeah.
They're on his case.
Get off my case. Anyways, yeah, all very good points. Points I hadn't considered. That yes, tons of examples throughout Survivor history of people who go to the final tribal council and go to their ally that they had to vote out and say, listen, I need to talk to you directly right now and apologize because you're the one vote I feel the worst about, and I have to explain myself to you, and they can save that. They can get that vote back. And also I wasn't aware that she's already forgiven Devin apparently. So that's
before she was even up to Dr. Joe, she was like, yeah, it's fine. He did what he had to do. Her Ponderosa video, by the way, is probably the best one of the season. Surprisingly.
Why is that?
It's just funny because, you know, like once the later people get there and they have this whole cast of characters already there that they can interact with, you know, it's just entertaining watching them. Right. Anyway, yeah, I don't think it's like everyone, like the podcast I've listened to is like, yeah, he's not getting Ashley's vote. That's done. It's a done deal. I'm like, what? Okay, that vote is gone forever. Please, spare me. They had a connection, and especially if someone has a soft spot for someone, which she does for Devin, then, like, it doesn't matter what they did. As long as he's able to explain why he did it, she will forgive him and vote for him if that's who she thinks deserves to win the game. Everybody assumes, oh, bitter feelings, won't vote for him. I don't, it never works that way completely, you know? So it's just, it pisses me off.
No, I think Devin's still a real strong contender to win this game. But there is, this brings me to, let's talk about Dr. Mike for a bit.
Do we have to?
There is a line in this episode that Dr. Mike says that is a little, makes me wonder where the things are going. He says, Devin could be a deciding factor of me winning $1 million.
Dude, you're not winning $1 million.
That is a direct quote from Dr. Mike. So that makes me worried that's like planted as a little seed. Like Devin is going to be on the jury and he might have to vote for Mike to win $1 million.
That just shows to me how the delusions this guy has. Like he really thinks he's in it with a shot. And we're not in the game. Maybe somehow he is, but to me, it'd be Michelle levels of WTF.
Yeah, it'd be worse. I could not get on board with that, Dr. Mike. No.
But the one time he tried to make a move, everybody was like, what just happened? And it was terrible.
That in that tribal council and
Statue of Liberty thing?
Yeah. That's like a crazy football play, you know. Like
Statue of Liberty?
Yeah, so we could call that like Ben's big play, the Statue of Liberty play.
It was something to behold.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree. I mean, even in that same scene where Mike gives this quote about Devin being a factor to him winning $1 million, it's in that scene you see Mike basically how he has zero agency in the game. Like he's basically like pleading his case on why like Ryan sucks and all this
Mhm.
stuff, kind of trying to get Ashley and Ben riled up or something.
Mhm.
And it was one of those things where they're basically not even really listening to him.
No, yeah, you could tell. Like he's like, "Can we vent for a little bit?" And they were just like,
And they're
"You can
like,
vent,
yeah.
Mike, but
And they
I
just
don't care."
space out while he's talking.
Yeah,
And to me, that was just like evidence that, yeah, Mike has zero agency in the game. I feel a little bad for him because he, as a fan, he wants to be a player, but nobody gives a shit about
no,
him.
no.
he's a
He's a
he's
number. He's been a number the whole time. He still is a number for.
he's a non-factor, and if he wins, you're right. It's a Michelle Fitzgerald case times a million, and
Yeah.
I will not be happy with it.
No, neither. I don't think many people would. It'd be very WTF.
WTF
Yeah.
moments.
Yep, definitely.
Let's go back to Chrissy for a moment.
Okay.
um, I find it interesting that isn't Chrissy concerned at all that no one wants to vote her out? Isn't that kind of a bad sign?
Well, you would think, but Devin still seems to think she could win.
But no one seems to ever like, even when she doesn't win immunity, no one targets her anymore.
There
She
was
just
talk of it last week, but yeah, it hasn't come up very much.
Yeah, and I think if I was her, and actually there is a moment in tribal council where she mentions it. I think it is something that's on her mind because she
Mhm.
says when they're talking about final threes, right?
Mhm.
Um, she says if someone wants you in your final three, that makes you go, does that mean they think they can beat me?
Uh-huh.
Um, if I was Chrissy, I don't know. I think I'd be a little concerned. Like, why isn't like I'm playing a damn good game. Why doesn't anybody want me out? Why isn't anybody targeting me?
I think, I mean, they're probably aware, they have to be aware after living with her for so long of how she comes off. It's not
No, I
good
know they are, but how is she not concerned about that?
because she's clearly not a self-aware person.
There, okay, I got my answer. All right,
Like, yeah, it's she must not be to act that way around people and then be shocked that she's perceived a certain way.
right. And like I said, with that quote, maybe she is a little bit. Maybe she's pointing that out for a reason.
Do you think
Like
she has a shot?
uh, I think as long as you can get to the final three and you have some kind of argument with a great final tribal performance, you always have a chance. But like, I think the odds are stacked against her because
I don't
of,
think she can have a good tribal performance.
I don't know, she seems to be very well spoken, but I mean, being well spoken isn't enough. She's gonna have to like authentically, is that a word?
Yeah, authentically.
She's going to have to authentically bring down the wall and be and connect with the jury on an emotional level. And I think that's going to be very difficult for her. If she can manage to do that, I think she has a chance. But yeah,
The jury that doesn't like her. I do think, despite this being the Ben show, that Ben is going to be your David Wright, your Malcolm,
you,
your fourth
you,
place guy.
oh Ben, you think he's
Yeah.
not going to make it?
Well, unless this new one more twist, we got one more twist. Unless that gets him there, which I would not be shocked in the latest if they designed a twist to get Ben to the end. But I really don't think. I think now that Ashley's gone, this Chrissy Ryan Devon thing is. But everyone says the finale is surprising, best finale, one of the best finales ever. Another twist. So I don't even know what to think, but I kind of think the Chrissy Ryan Devon thing is what's gonna happen.
Sure. It does
Hmm.
seem like this whole season is building towards a Ben win, though. I mean,
I think it'd be, what another theory that's out there is that it's going to be a tie and that the third person's going to have to vote. So if like it was Ben and Devin and somebody, like the clash of the Ben and Devin, and then whoever the third place person is has to just cast the deciding vote. That would
okay,
be interesting.
that could be an ending I could get on board with. You
Unless
know,
Ben wins.
well, even if he won in that
I
case,
know, I
I
know, I
think
know.
that would be just super fascinating
Yeah.
and super exciting. Um, so yeah, Jeff goes around in the final tribal and asks each person, like, do you have a final three? Do you have a final three? Do you have a
Hmm.
final three? And Ryan's response is the Pope Catholic?
Oh, is that when he said that?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Um,
missed that. I was too pissed off. I'm always pissed off during tribal council.
but I'd like to know, would you want to play a little game and say who you think they think, or who you
Their final
think
threes?
they have as their final three in their head?
Sure.
If that can include Ashley, keep this in mind because Ashley
Yeah,
was
okay.
still in the game at that point.
Yeah.
Uh, so let's go down the list. Chrissy, who is Chrissy's final three in her head?
Chrissy, Devin, Ryan.
Yep, she was good with
She
that decision.
seemed legitimately to want that.
And Devin, do you think he was feeling the same way, or in his
I
head?
think he was not made up. I think he wanted Ashley there, but he also had this Chrissy and Ryan thing there. But at tribal council, he probably knew it
He was
couldn't
going to
be
vote for Ashley.
Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he knew it couldn't be Ashley, well,
It was Chrissy and
they were going to vote for Ben though, weren't they? Until Ben played his idol.
I think so. Chrissy got her way though. She's
So
probably glad he pulled that idol out.
yeah, before he pulled the idol out,
Hmm.
that's when Jeff asked them. So at that
Hmm.
point, Devin still wanted Ashley and who else? Mike probably.
I think he would have probably taken either Chrissy or Ryan. Probably Ryan because he's talked about how Chrissy could win.
So he didn't want Mike in the final three.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I don't know him.
Well, that's the game we're playing. We don't have to play this game if you don't want to.
I just don't know why he had made that deal with Chrissy and Ryan. Then why would his final three be Ashley and Mike?
Okay. I just think Devin is the type of player that
He'd
makes.
go there with anyone, probably.
Well, he says yes to everything.
That's what you're supposed to do, Rob. Like you always say yes, but yet no, whatever.
I know. I agree. I think that's how you should play for the most
Yeah.
part. I mean, the downside of that is you can get caught,
Yeah.
in between people. If they share each other's stories
Yeah.
about you, you're
Then they
screwed.
feel betrayed. Yeah. It's a problem.
But for the most part, it's worked for Devin. Devin's the
Hmm.
type of player who just says yes to everything.
Yeah.
That's what he does. So I don't believe anything about
Hmm.
his final three when he makes it with two people he happens to be on reward with.
It's a fair
So,
point.
yeah. Do you want to keep going with this game, or are you good?
I think
Ben's final three?
well, he said he'd go with anyone. If he could pick, he'd
Oh
probably
yeah,
pick Ashley
he's
and
the only
Mike.
one. He's the only one Jeff didn't really ask. Okay, Ashley's final three.
It probably would have been Devin and Mike.
Yeah, I feel like Mike is in a lot of people's plans because they're
I
like,
would think so.
you can't
I
win.
don't know.
Or maybe Chrissy is in more people's plans. Maybe people do feel like she can't win.
It's really hard to say.
Yeah.
It's now when we're talking about this makes me realize how little information we actually have.
Yeah, see, it's an interesting game to play because
Yeah.
they all seemed sincere when they told Jeff that yes, I have my final three in mind. So
Yeah, it often comes out though after like in an exit interview, someone says like they had a final three that was totally different from what you thought. Because
right.
but it just wasn't shown on the show because it wasn't relevant to the story or whatever. So you
Mhm.
never know. You never know.
True. Ryan in the beginning of the episode kept saying, Ben is amazing. He's amazing.
Yeah, he really was on the Ben hype train.
Do you agree with this?
No, I don't agree with this. He's amazing at finding idols.
Right. Just go out and walk around the jungle and look for a giant ass painting on a
And
tree.
you can be amazing too. You don't have to have relationships. You don't have to be able to manipulate or
win
make
individual immunity challenges
you
like
don't have to
Chrissy.
He's basically Mike Hollowaying it with idols. That's what he's doing.
Which is lame.
Very much so.
Yeah, I'm really worried about Ryan's health.
Yeah, that's why when they took him on the reward, I was like, good. Like, I didn't realize Ashley would be so pissed off. It seemed more like a Chrissy decision, but yeah, whenever someone takes Ryan, I'm like, good. please take him. He needs it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I was projecting on Ryan a little bit, but it seemed like he just like wasn't feeling very well at the reward or the not the challenge, the reward
Yeah.
where he made the final three. He just like seemed so not himself, you know?
Maybe
Like
that's what's happening. Why we haven't seen him a lot is just because he's just so wasted away that he can't do anything or
I,
talk about anything.
I think they haven't really featured it because it's, you know, if it doesn't really come to a head,
Yeah.
like why show it? But I think he might be struggling out there.
I wouldn't
Pretty,
be surprised.
yeah. He looks,
He
man.
looks rough. Yeah.
Yeah, he's lost. He didn't have any weight to lose, and he lost some.
Yeah.
He's got to be like under 100 pounds.
Oh
That's
yeah. Because he's
scary.
short too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like
Oh,
thinking about that.
yeah. Sorry. Just it was something I thought about during the episode. So,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
what else? Devin sucked at that immunity challenge. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he did. He's
And
not good at puzzles.
that's one thing I will bash on Devin a little bit. At the beginning of the episode, he's like, I ain't gonna let you win immunity. You made a mistake. You made a mistake voting out Lauren. You shouldn't have left me in the game. And
I
then
think Lauren would have smoked you in that immunity, bro.
God, she might have beaten Ben and they might have or beaten Chrissy. I don't guess it doesn't matter really.
It all came down to the puzzle, but I mean Devin was good in the reward, but that was a different kind of challenge.
Funny though is Devin wasn't even good at the physical part of the challenge. He was last.
Yeah.
So he was bad at both parts of the challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, he is not going
He's not perfect.
No one's saying that. I'm just saying we don't need to bash everything he does.
Right.
And say it's a terrible move just because we don't like him for some reason. Although I kind of do that with Chrissy. But I don't have like 80 million listeners or whatever Rob has. So
do you think Joe would vote for Ben in the final tribal council?
I think it depends on who he's up against.
Sure. Who could go up against Ben and Joe would vote for that person instead?
I mean, yeah, Chrissy and someone, but I think the third person might get his vote, you know, because I can think of Mike would get his vote. Maybe. Devin probably would. I think Devin would. I don't know about Ryan. Ryan probably wouldn't.
Okay. Well,
so maybe Chrissy and Ryan.
Okay. I noticed a little editing cue where Ben is talking in the tribal council about no one will make big moves, and as he says that, they show Joe nodding his head, like
yeah, they did do that.
So it makes me wonder, like, does Joe feel some kind of rapport with Ben through the whole, like, you know, have to fight from behind when no one's helping you out?
That's what people at the bottom say. Like Sierra Easton, why won't you guys make any moves? Hey, bitch, we're making moves. You're just not part of them. So, like, that's just like the go-to thing of someone who hasn't been able to gain any traction in the game.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Anything else you want to talk about?
Anything else?
In this episode?
La 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 la. I don't know. I don't know.
Good?
I guess I'm good. I was just very frustrated with. We talked about it. Too
many idols.
Too many damn idols. You gotta stop.
Too many idols, and Ben.
I feel like there should be a cap.
Ben is a little overrated. You know.
Ben's way overrated.
And Devin is a little underrated
by certain people.
Yeah, and I won't say he's way underrated. I'll say Devin is a little underrated.
Mm-hmm. Like even in the reward challenge, like just the way people interact was like shows why people like Devin. Like Devin was paired with Chrissy, which sucks, but he was like so kind and like helpful to her, whereas the other teams were just like yelling at each other and fighting. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I mean, that just shows me like his social game is good. Maybe he pissed off Ashley for a second, but that doesn't mean he's just suddenly doomed. And Rob's thing about how, he put on a cowboy hat and now he's the villain. Like, let it go, Rob. Let it go.
I like the symbolism there, though.
Yeah, but he keeps bringing it up.
Oh, he does. Okay, well, I was good with the one time.
It was fine the first time. It's not some harbinger of here's where Devin started to suck.
Right.
Proof.
Right. Okay. So let's get on with it. Who is your MVP for this episode?
I refuse to give it to Ben.
Okay.
But who else?
Who else? I mean,
I'm gonna give it to Ashley for her Ponderosa video.
okay. That's fair. All right. That's an interesting choice. I have to give it to Ben. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's fine.
I don't think it's fair, but the one thing you can say is, I mean, unless this whole show is totally rigged, like beyond what we can even fathom.
Mm-hmm.
And if that was true, like this whole thing falls apart, right?
Yeah.
Unless this whole thing is rigged big time, Ben had to go out and find the idol. Like
Yeah.
he did put in the legwork, and they do have a clip of him saying these things are really hard to find. Like
Mm-hmm.
I work really hard to find them. So Ben deserves some credit for busting his ass when his ass is on the line and finding these.
Okay, but here's what.
They shouldn't be out there in the first place.
Yeah,
Obviously.
here's what bothers me about it. He could be spending that time busting his ass, playing the actual game, trying to find inroads. You know,
Well,
that's what his
that
time
needed to
could be spent.
happen a long time ago. It's too late for that.
I know, but there's cracks like the Ashley and Devin thing. He could have exploited that more, but he spent all his time looking for the idol. You know what I mean?
Okay. But yeah, I don't think we can really say. From what I understand, the actual game of Survivor is a lot of sitting around and and people not talking to you, people not letting you play the game. The perfect example is in this episode of Ben talking to Ashley,
Mm-hmm.
and she brick walled him, you
Mm-hmm.
know, like, and that's how it was probably for Ben. Like they're like, you're done. They probably all made it so obvious he was done, and he couldn't make any inroads. I believe that there was no crack for Ben at this point in the game, but that should be part of the game. Is like, you screwed up too late. Like,
Mm-hmm.
karma's a bitch. You don't get a get out of jail free card. But
Except you do.
of course, with no one else to really give I do like Devin's gameplay in the tribal council, but I have to give it to Ben for working. And he's still there. He shouldn't be there, but he's there.
He's gonna win.
Yeah, I think so.
So there's my prediction.
Okay.
Riveting. Best finale in years. The person that was telegraphed from the season preview as the winner is going to be the winner. Shocking.
Yeah. Well, it has been a very predictable season. Just the boot order was a little off. I think we've been pretty spot on for the most part about who would be at the end since the beginning.
Yeah.
The only person I can think of that I would like remove, like, because Jessica, even though she was my winner pick, I never really, I knew it was like one of those things where it's like she's either gonna win or she's gonna go out in the middle. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But to me the biggest surprise was Allie. I think she's the only vote, you know, that surprised me. Everything else, like, okay, yeah, that's what I knew this is how it would go. Mm-hmm. So it's been a very predictable season. And that's also interesting because I believe that this is the worst I've ever done at predicting what's going to happen on a week-to-week basis.
We should have just gone back to our power rankings and just picked according to that.
Oh,
I would have been fine.
I wonder if I have that saved somewhere because I don't remember.
Well, we can go back on the podcast and just watch it, you know.
But it's not labeled unless you went back in the description.
I said there's power rankings in the description.
Oh, good. Okay, so we can find that video then.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be interested to see that. Yeah, how close we were to the boot order. That'd be fun to look at.
I don't think we were that far off, with, like you said, the exception of Allie.
Right. Okay. So, anyways, what do we get in the previews for the finale?
It's basically very generic, just saying that you watch your final five compete. They don't really show anything. Jeff Probst says it's emotional, riveting, and surprising, is what he said. Well, but he said that this week's tribal council, when he hypes something up, it's basically code for Ben finds a way to stay. So him hyping this up just emphasizes to me that he's very pleased with a Ben win, and that's what's going down.
Okay. And so you mentioned that he brings out a new secret advantage.
Yeah.
Any ideas on what that might be?
Hopefully nothing ridiculously game changing, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, not like the secret advantage of game changers.
What was that one?
Well, you said game changing, so
Oh, no, I don't know. It's the commercial makes it seem like it's a really big deal, but they always do that. So I don't know.
so you have no idea what it might be.
No.
Yeah,
I don't go to the rumors and all that stuff. So I don't
right.
know.
Good.
I don't know.
Okay. So it's time to predict how this whole thing is going to end.
I just said
Who do you got for a final 3 and who wins?
Ben said he'd go there with anyone, so I don't know who would be there with him. I think Ben, Chrissy, and someone else. Ooh.
Well, who?
I don't know, because I don't think.
Pick something.
Okay. See, I just feel like Ben's gonna win, but I also don't see how he gets there. So I'll say it's Chrissy, Devin, Ryan. Ben goes out 5th or 4th. And something screwy happens with a vote. It's like a tie. And then I don't know who wins. Chrissy? Devin?
Yeah. It's funny because as you were saying that, I was thinking of my situation, and basically I had the same thing in mind.
Really?
Yeah. As much as like it's it very well could be Ben, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We this whole podcast, that's what we've been saying, is Ben's gonna win. And then at the moment we have to pick, we leave him out.
How does he get there is the question. Because
Right.
he can't use the title at 4.
No.
And he hasn't won any immunities.
But he could. He could
He
start.
could, I suppose he could.
He could. But yeah, I am not going, or maybe I should go against you just to
Pick what you want to pick, man.
I honestly want to pick what you picked, pretty much.
A tie?
Yeah, like Devin and Chrissy are the ones that, or even Devin and Ryan. Maybe that's the only thing I'll change is like they give Ryan votes instead, because Ryan is convincing in his dialogue, I guess.
That's true.
So
I can see Chrissy getting no votes.
right. So maybe Ryan has a good argument in the final tribal, and Devin and Ryan get tie votes, and Chrissy has to vote for who she wants to win. At which
oh man, would she vote for Ryan?
she would vote for Ryan. So
wow.
So I think Ryan's your winner.
What? Whoa. It's crazy.
Yeah. Ryan wins, but same scenario, I'm just going to pick Ryan instead.
Okay. Yeah. I think I mean I didn't pick a winner. I guess I'll pick Devin just to switch it up, and I don't see Chrissy winning, but she could. I don't know.
Yeah, because in your scenario, Ryan would have the vote. So would Ryan vote for Chrissy or Devin? Ryan was aligned with Devin from the start.
Yeah.
And Chrissy was his ride or die. I think Ryan would vote for Chrissy.
Well, I'm still gonna pick Devin because
that's better.
Because someone's got to stick up for Devin in the podcast world.
Yeah, what's interesting about that is that vote would take place at the final tribal or at the live finale, wouldn't it?
Yeah. They would just go to the earn and vote. And they'd still reveal it.
Which means they don't know if it is in fact a tie. Production doesn't know who wins yet.
Production knows.
No, because the person cast their vote at the finale.
No, they'll cast it there. They're not going to let them have 3 months to think about it.
Oh, I thought they cast it at the finale. That's what
No way. They'll tell them. Jeff Probst will come out and say, hey, this is unprecedented, but we have a tie. So the person who got 3rd place, which I'm sorry, is you, Ryan, or whatever, has to go cast the tie-breaking vote.
Really?
I do not think it's in any way fair to give them 5 or 6 months to think about it.
Okay.
I just don't see how that's fair. to watch the whole show and then cast their vote?
They would tell everyone like,
Well, they would have to.
well, you didn't win. Well, this person didn't win. Instead,
Well, like it's not obvious after that anyway. You know, the third place goat. Everybody knows.
it might not be unless it's someone like, I don't know. I can't think of who could be. There's really
They cannot give them that much time and let them watch the show back and then decide who gets $1 million.
That's a good point. So I had it wrong in my head then how I saw this going down. I thought they would read it all out there.
Or maybe they'll like pull them aside and they won't do it in front of everybody.
See, that would
it'll be done there before they leave.
Have the 3 people sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the third person knows they didn't win, that's kind of silly too. So yeah, it does make more sense to just tell the person on the spot, like, listen, one of you didn't get
any votes.
And you're going to have to vote for the winner. So it's you, Chrissy, or it's you, Ryan.
Yeah. That's what I think would happen. I don't know how if it would be in front of everyone or behind the scenes, but I think it would happen on that day.
Right. Well, that's it. That's our predictions.
Very complicated and strange and probably not likely to happen.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to add to this for the finale?
Nope. That is it.
That's it, man. All right. I guess that does it for this episode of the podcast. Thanks for listening. You can follow us on Twitter at TV is our real mom. Please give us a thumbs up, a comment, and a subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Bye.